the Games Cage.
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the Games Cage. Today, it is finally time to talk about Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission. I'm saying finally like the game's been out forever. It's been out for like less than a week now, but it is a very niche game and there's not many people talking about it, not many videos about it, but I've had a lot of people on Twitter ask me, Fidel, what are your thoughts on this game? Should I buy this? Should I not? And I thought I would give a solid impression so far kind of video because I'm nowhere near done with the game to give a full review because there's a lot to this game, right? There's a lot of meat here and I'm going to get into it. I'm going to talk about it. We're just going to have a laid back conversation. So right away, just to get it out of the way, obviously if you don't know what Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission is, it is a card game based on a very popular arcade game in Japan called Super Dragon Ball Heroes, where essentially you are collecting cards, you're putting them on the battlefield, and you're battling opponents, right? So that's obviously the dumbed down version of it, but just to know right away, it is a card game, right? This isn't a Dragon Ball FighterZ, this isn't a Budokai, it is not something where you're doing all the crazy moves. There's quick time events during a fight, but it's not really engaging like an actual Dragon Ball fighting game. So I feel like that's important to note right away. I'm going to put some footage on screen for you to see for that. So right away, right, my first impressions of this game are I love this game. Personally, as a massive Dragon Ball fan, like this game is made for me, and I also think it's also made for a very specific audience. So I really do think this is the type of game. It's for two kind of audiences, right? One, it is for the very hardcore Dragon Ball fans. Like, if you just really want more Dragon Ball stuff, I recommend this. But if you just love, if you like Dragon Ball and you like card games, I'd recommend this because this game is pure fan service, and I'm talking about that in like the upmost level where you can have cards like adult Gotenks fighting alongside Tapion, alongside evolved Super Saiyan God Vegeta. It's like there's Super Saiyan 4 Goku, there's Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, there's like all these different kind of cards and characters that obviously aren't canon, but it is pure fan service and pure weirdness. For those of you that don't know, again, Dragon Ball Heroes is very popular in Japan. It's essentially a spin-off, right, where that's how they do get weird things like Vegeta, Super Saiyan 3, and all these weird characters that you don't get in the regular canon, but you can have in this weird, wacky world. And it's really cool seeing actual, like, artwork of those characters in this game. Like, there's official art of those characters, which is really weird. So, again, right off the bat, this is a very fan servicey game, so I don't recommend it to people who don't like Dragon Ball, like, because I think it's a great card game, great card game, but I think unless you're invested in obviously the franchise, it's not going to mean anything to you. So let me kind of subcategory this. So let's talk about the gameplay first. So the core gameplay, obviously it's a card game, relies on you placing 7 cards. So every round you start with 7 cards that you pick from 1,000 cards you can get in the game through different like means. So you put 7 cards on the field, and essentially there's 4 layers to the field, right? One of them is the bottom one, which is how you recover stamina, and then there's 3 fields for level 1 attacks, level 2, and level 3. So obviously each level would use a stamina bar. So I think you have like 5 stamina bars, and obviously if you go on the level 3 attack units, you're gonna lose 3 stamina bars, and obviously if you go to the healing one, you'll heal. If you go to the second one, you'll use 2 stamina bars. You get the point. So essentially you're kind of playing a game of managing your stamina throughout the match, but you've also got different cards with different abilities, just like any card game, where if a character after 2 rounds will do this much more damage, or this card can fuse with this card if it's next to it, or it's like, so there's a lot of little things like all these little abilities that add up together. It never feels too overwhelming because I think the game does a good job of making cards' abilities pretty like passive. Like, you don't need to meet crazy conditions to do the card's abilities. You can kind of just passively play the game and shit will happen, right? Like, you'll have weird shit where Gohan, Super Saiyan 2, will be able to do Goku's Super Dragon Fist attack from one of the movies. And it's like, it's really weird and wacky. It's almost fascinating just seeing all these crazy attacks that characters normally cannot do in any shape or form, but they actually do it together here, right? And again, you'll have crazy stuff like, okay, one turn, they'll suddenly fuse together, and then you'll land a triple attack for some reason. So, like, there's a lot of shit that kind of goes on that I don't know how I activated, but I think the game just does a good job of making you feel like you are doing cool stuff, you are doing crazy attacks, and you also have 3 card units, right? You have Berserker cards, Hero cards, and Elemental cards. Elemental cards are essentially ones that do better like key damage, like Blast. Hero cards are the balanced ones, and Berserker cards, like, they do a lot more damage, but they take more stamina. So, again, I don't want to get into, like, the finer details of all the card stuff, but these are the bare minimum stuff about the card game, and it really is fun and engaging. And throughout the match, also, you have quick time events. So when you'll be attacking, you'll have this meter that's going up and down that you can press A at the right time to do more damage, or there will be times where you have to, like, rotate the controller. So the matches keep engaged. I can't look away from the screen when I'm playing a match, right? Because even there's stuff like timed stuff where, okay, if you do this quickly, you'll do more damage. So the card game itself, really awesome, really love it. The cards, I fucking love with, obviously, card collecting. What I love about this game specifically is there's no microtransactions, right? You pay for this game, it's full price. I know it's a lot to ask for a card game, but you get no microtransactions. You earn money in the game, and that's how you go do the gacha stuff where you get new cards. You can't choose which cards you want to buy, but you can get them through like a machine. Obviously, you have rare cards you can get, you have elite cards, you can have like, it's this thing where it's the addictive card collecting nature, but I never have to worry that like, fuck man, that pull was shitty, I'm gonna pay $5 more to do this. No, it is purely in-game, you earn it in the game, and I really love that. So in terms of getting the card stuff, I really love that. In terms of content, there is a fuck ton of content in this game. So there is a story mode, and the story mode itself in terms of dialogue is good. It is what you expect from these games like Xenoverse or this, where you kind of go through the story beats of Dragon Ball, but because it's a really weird and wacky world, you'll have unique scenarios, right? So it'll be like the original Goku and Vegeta battle, but like Vegeta turned Super Saiyan 3. So it's like there's a lot of weird fan servicey shit like that, or Omega Shenron shows up. So it's like I really appreciate that. Again, while the story is kind of like whatever, at least it's fun to see what kind of scenarios they come up with. But again, in that story, you got a lot of battles. You got arcade mode, right? And arcade mode isn't just like 10 random battles you do. No, there's like different arcade modes for like different sagas, right? So there's like Boo Saga arcade mode, there's Cell Saga arcade mode, like there's Beerus arcade mode. So it's like even the arcade mode is fully fleshed out. You got online battles, so obviously you can battle people online. You have tournament mode, so you can do tournaments. You have it's like there's so much fucking content and ways you can play the game. It's almost it's never, no, I wouldn't say it's almost overwhelming, but it's like it really is. Wow, you can invest hundreds of hours in this, right? Trying to get all the cards, trying to just play the game, have fun. One thing that I really praise about the game though is they have a card creator mode, which you don't really see in many card games. So essentially in this mode you can pay in-game money like the Zenny, right? To buy, let's say I buy a Super Saiyan Goku card and a Gohan card. I can make a card where like I put that artwork of Goku and Gohan next to each other. I can like give that card a specific element, a specific ability, a background, a look to it. It's like you can customize your own cards, and it's like that's a really cool mechanic, because obviously this game is all about fan service and making weird shit. So again, I could have a card with Kid Buu on it with like Gohan in the background for some reason, or Vegeta. It's like you can make really weird shit, and I really appreciate that they went to the lengths of that, because they could have really easily made this game like, we're gonna just add DLC over time where we add our own versions of these cards, right? But instead, hey, no, there's already like 1,000 cards in the game. We're gonna give you more options by letting you do it, and you can create your own custom missions with the cards you make. So it's like there's a shit ton of content in this game. So again, it's also a thing to note is it's not the best looking game, but what I will say is for the Nintendo Switch version specifically, I think they did a fantastic job with porting it, because again, it's 1080p, so it looks crisp, but again, it is running on a very old engine because it's an arcade game, right? But what I really love, again, is it's 60 frames no matter which thing you're on, whether you're on TV or handheld mode, right? The game has full touchscreen support. It works super well. Fights are smooth. Loading screens are great. Like, I was really worried that this game would just be like a whatever port, but no, they really did make effort to make this. Like, no, let's make this a quality port of this arcade game, and obviously add a lot of content in the game. But it's like really surprising stuff. Really happy what they've done with it. And again, I'm only about, I'd say I'm almost 10 hours in, so I don't have my full thoughts, but just to tell you guys, as a big Dragon Ball fan, I would recommend this if you really would like some fan service, a fun card game. You just want to have fun, you just want to play it. It's like a perfect I sit in bed and play kind of game. It's perfect for that. The music isn't anything special, so you could probably listen to a podcast while you play the game. Another thing I don't like though is because the fights are, I mean, this is a good and bad thing, whichever way you want to take it. In the fights, right, so you can do, obviously you can't speed anything up, so like you always have to watch the animations play out even after you've seen them like 50 times, right? So it's like as cool as seeing Gotenks and Goku do a fucking Super Dragon Ball fist together. There's only so many times I want to see that animation play out, but it has to play out because it has its engaging moments where you gotta like spam A or move this character there. So it's like, I get where they're coming from, but it's like, I wish there was at least like a fast forward button just so that I don't have to sit through it every time, because the amount of times I've like pressed, like I've tried to look for a button to skip it is it's a lot of times. So that would be my one flaw. Like, matches can take a bit of a while. It never feels like you're doing a really short match. And yeah, so those are my impressions and thoughts so far. Let me know if you're interested in the game. Let me know if I've convinced you to get the game. Again, I would really recommend that. I know it's full price. I know it's a lot to ask for, but it's just a game I'm just going to be playing forever on my Switch. It's a game that every night or two I'm just going to pop in, do a few rounds, and like move out. Like, not move out, but like stop playing. So I really fucking love this game. Highly recommend it. And yeah, so let me know if you buy it. Let me know your thoughts. Dragon Ball's my love, my baby. I just want that Ultra Instinct Goku card. Where's my Ultra Instinct Goku card? It's in the game. I just need to earn it. I got Super Saiyan God Goku. I got SSG, SS Vegeta Evolved. Just give me Ultra Instinct. Come on. Don't fuck with me. Thank you all for watching. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.